I think that the state of South Dakota provides a credible amount of resources and information and access to be able to create your own company, build a business, and be who you want to be and have the freedom to operate it.
There's a reason South Dakota is the best state to do business. Hi, I'm Governor Kristi Noem, and here in South Dakota, we keep taxes low. We roll out the red carpet and cut red tape, and we give businesses room to grow and to prosper. Meet Brock Hutchinson, serial entrepreneur and the man behind Big Frig Coolers, Solo Step, Rehab, and other businesses. His story, like so many others across the state, is where an entrepreneur took a risk and invested in themselves, in their innovative ideas, and in their businesses. When government gets out of the way, human ingenuity and innovation can thrive. We make it easier to create new opportunities so that everyone can prosper. That's our vision for success. And that's how freedom works here.
So yeah, this is main homestead down there where grandparents and Uncle Bob and Carol live. About down there where that lumber is actually where they first had their first house.
How many years ago was that when they originally settled?
Early, like 32, if I remember right. From what I understand, yeah, they came up from Kansas and homesteaded. So growing up in a ranch family is actually one of my favorite things. I credit a lot of the success I've had coming from the ranch family. I mean, we'd usually get up in the morning, we'd go out, check cattle. We rode a lot of horse. My grandpa Waddell, he ran about 3,500 head of yearlings usually, and then just fixing fence, feeding cattle in the winter. But a lot of times when we had spare time, we would throw a aluminum boat in the back of the truck, and then we would go fish at the stock ponds that were on my grandmother's place. He had about right around a little over 30,000 acres, so we had a lot of land to go out and have fun, ride four-wheelers. If we weren't working, we were usually hunting or fishing or riding UTVs across the ranch. So.
Hello. Hey. Don't know yet. Look at these two guys.
See, I was cool before.
Dad with the mullet.
Cool with the mullet.
Look at Grandpa Barry. Grandma Mickey, they were young. You really had blonde hair.
So when we met, Brock was a realtor in Sioux Falls, and he had just bought his first business with his two close friends called Solo Step. For Christmas, we were going to give stainless steel tumblers. So my idea was we could have the Solo Step logo engraved on the cup, and then Brock would write a handwritten note to each of our large customers, and we'd send them for Christmas. I came home one day and he had all of these cups lined up on the kitchen counter with ice in them, and he was going to see which one lasted the longest, and that's the one he was going to buy. So found the cup, called me the next day and said, hey, good news, I can get the cup, but the bad news is I have to get 2,500 and I only need 500. They engrave Solo Step on them, Brock writes the notes, out they go, and then we have 2,000 cups sitting in my garage. He called and said, hey, great idea. Dakota and some of the guys are talking about the home show. Maybe we can get a booth and we can sell the cups. So they set up shop, but they didn't have a name, they didn't have a logo, they had nothing. So 3 days before the show, they were pressing Brock on, you gotta have a name, we gotta have a name. And Brock picked up the cup, looked at it, and he goes, well, it's a big friggin' cup. Sold out the first night.
Grab those. I'll grab this.
Is there much for mule deer out here, or just more whitetail?
No, not really right here. There's a few. I mean, you'll see them.
Yeah.
But it's not like the southern hills, or not like out on your ranch.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're what, 50-50 whitetail mule deer?
Yeah, probably 50-50, yep.
Yeah, and you got good mule deer. I'm hunting or on the road hunting about 200 days a year, and his coolers just paired with what we were doing. It was a South Dakota based company. I like Brock. We threw his cooler in the back of our truck, put a sticker on it. Then he sent me a cooler with our logo on it, and one thing led to another, and we became friends super fast and got involved with each other's businesses. He started supporting Rolling Bones. We started supporting Big Frig. Just the whole lifestyle of the brand. Him personally, growing up out here, West River, rancher kid, entrepreneur. You know, I'm an entrepreneur, so it all resonated with me.
Different units are not necessarily by county out here with the elk, right?
No, well, that's where Rolling Bones
You're in the
comes
right
into play, because they know the density and the draw odds of all these areas. So
Yeah.
when you start applying, but like once you apply, then you start going hunting. Game Fish and Parks helps you, and so does the outfitter. And we have great outfitters that hunt this unit right here. And it goes all the way from the Cement Ridge, which you have obviously been over there.
Yeah.
And it comes all the way across over here.
When Big Frig started, we really had no employees, so we had to recruit. What was really kind of important to Brock was to find people that had the same values and work ethic as he did. And it was important to find people who were willing to jump in, work hard, but yet play hard. So while Brock, it may appear as though he's playing, he's still working, and sometimes when he's working, he's really playing, because a lot of Brock's work is about relationships, because that's what's really important to him and to me.
Brock's method of building relationships is just being himself. So he's a very natural, humble, inquisitive, very interested person. So really all he wants to do is just meet great people, hear their stories, and learn more about them. And he's always the guy, he's the social butterfly who's bouncing around a room, but he genuinely cares about his employees. And he genuinely cares about everybody he meets, really.
Brock does a lot of hunting and fishing, ATV events. We go to concerts as a group. We've gone ice fishing as a group. It's just really important to, if you're going to work together, to play together.
Brantley and ourselves have several partners in common. Nine Line Apparel and Matt Lyda, Trevor Wright and Josh over at Roush Performance are also great partners of Brantley's.
Oh, dude, that's so sick. I can tell you from the jump, it's been an unbelievable experience. He's an incredible guy. He shows up and supports things that matter. And anytime we partner with somebody, it's really important to me that I can actually stand behind the brand and what they stand for. And it's easy to get behind Brock.
Relationships have just been a big part of my life. We might talk for a half hour and they don't even know what I do or that I even have a cooler company. And so a lot of it is building the relationship first, and then eventually they're like, well, hey, I didn't realize you have a cooler company. I go, yeah.
I think a lot of where Brock's personality and the way that he treats people and the way that he treats business and the way that he just approaches life, a lot of that just comes from the way that he was raised. The business and all these other things are really just a vehicle really for him to be able to provide for his employees and use them as an extension of his family, and really just to get to enjoy people, enjoy time when you're outside of work, and really just get to live life to the fullest.
Whenever I leave South Dakota, I can always hardly wait to get home. My kids are free to be kids. I'm free to be me. My husband's free to be himself. Our businesses do very well here just because it's got a great business environment.
My wife and I own several companies, and South Dakota, just the business landscape here was very welcoming to us. And they embraced us and said, hey, come here, start a business, and you be you, and you have the freedom to go run your company without a lot of restrictions and operating obstacles.
They've got programs and they've put in infrastructure that is geared specifically towards small businesses. That's part of like the South Dakota Governor's Office of Economic Development. If you get a hold of them, they'll say, what do you need from us? What can we help you with? What can we do to make things better and to get you to come and do business here? There isn't a better state to do business in, personally, in my opinion. As far as living and calling it home, South Dakota will be where we'll be the rest of our lives.